Hello, and welcome to the Abra Org Plus product presentation. The Abra Org Plus software integrates directly with the Abra Human Resource System, providing you a way to create organizational charting as a result of the Abra HR information. In order to get the Org Plus software to generate a chart reflecting the information from Abra HR, we first need to create a file from the Human Resource System. What we'll do is we'll go into Human Resources, look at Processes, and go out here to create an Org Plus file. The screen that displays itself here is a working area for us to create our output file. We can create a file for all employees in multiple companies. We can create a file that's specific to certain division, departments, or locations. We can also go and just select certain groups of employees. We can build custom criteria into the file that we build. We can also go out and select additional fields above and beyond the default fields that appear in the file itself, which would be employee ID, supervisor ID, an employee name, and a job title. So if we go out here and click on the screen button, this will let us have access to other fields of information in the Abra database. Maybe on our chart we want to add additional information like annual pay information. We may also want to go out here and reflect some organizational types of information. I may want to look at the person's department. I may want to look at their division code. I may also want to go out here and look at their location information. Once I go ahead and select the fields that I want to have appear in my output file, I click OK, and the system goes ahead and creates an output file for me to work with. Next thing I need to do is I need to launch my Org Plus software. I can do that by navigating down to the bottom of my Abra toolbar, finding the Org Plus icon, and launching the software from within my Abra application. The first thing that displays itself in the Abra Org Plus software are a set of wizards that I can work with to manage my data, run reports, or take my information and send it out to a Microsoft Office tool. I can import information. I can start a brand new chart from scratch. I can go through a wizard that helps me build reports, or again, I can take my information, send it out to the web, send it out to a Microsoft Office tool, put it in a PDF format, or I can also take charts and attach them to an email and email them out to others. Since I've already created an output file, I want to go through the import process in which a wizard will step me through bringing my data into the application. So the first thing I'm going to do is go out here and select a file to work with. I'll go down to the bottom here, click Next to launch my wizard. The next thing I'm able to do is verify some of the data integrity. I can go through and designate this as a comma delimited file, and then from there, the information will display itself broken down in the format that I selected. Once I confirm my data, I go to the next step, which is to confirm the way that the information will be broken down in the chart, confirm the hierarchy. I'll go out here and select to sort through this information based on supervisor ID. So I can see supervisor ID, and I can see the individual reports based on every supervisor setting and change. The next area I can go through is to look at the employee ID information, look at the data settings, make sure that all my employees have supervisor IDs next to them, to make sure that the information that's on the chart is accurate. Once I confirm that, I can go out and select a template for my chart. I've got various colored charts that I can select from. I've also got just a very simple black and white chart, which I'll select for the presentation here. The next thing I can do is I can go through and design the specific information that's going to show up on my individual tabs when I create my chart. I have a list to select from here that displays all the information that we selected in our file. I can select that information and place that into the boxes that I'm going to display, and then I get a small sample of what my chart's going to look like. I can either publish the chart the way that it is here, or I can send the chart to Org Plus to do more detailed customizations. And I'll go ahead and do that to show you some of the functionality in the application itself. I click the Finish button. I replace the file that I created with this new formatting, and I'm able to display my information. Again, we have this structured so it breaks down based on supervisor setups. So we have quite a bit of detail here. You can see we're all the way down to a level 10 as far as the way that we drill down into the information. What I want to do is look at a more simple display. Maybe I'll just go up to a level 3, where I can see a more detailed tab. I can actually see the information that's presented in the individual tabs themselves. I can go out here and select a tab, and you can see that when I select a tab, it turns on my toolbar across the top of the screen. So I've got different tools up here that help me do things like format boxes, color in the boxes, and other types of customizations. I've also got different pull-down menus that I can select some other options from. A lot of the selections that I have available for me out here in the pull-down menu are the same types of options that I had when I walked through my wizard. I can format the way that the chart's laid out. I can format the way that the lines report to each other. Format the size, color, shapes of the individual boxes that surround the data. I can also go out and format the text and customize the text as it lays itself out in the screen. Do I want things customized, bold, change the fonts? This is where I can make those individual text change settings. I've got a category out here that lets me set the style of my chart. I've got a way to customize the way that I view the information. This is where I can go out and make edits to the information that sits out here in the individual boxes. So if I want to reformat the boxes in the way that they're set up, the same functionality that we saw in the wizard itself, this is where I can go through my list of fields and select those fields and put them in the box to be displayed. Once I have my information set up and formatted the way that I want, I can then save my information, and I can export it out to various Microsoft tools. I can click here to send it as an email. It'll send it as an email attachment. Or I can go out and work with a reporting wizard that'll help me step through creating my organizational chart report. That concludes our presentation of the Abra OrgPlus software. Thank you for your time.